What I am not doing is wasting my time arguing with zombies. Here it is online. You know, it doesn't matter. Even if you're sometimes in support of people, they still find a way to argue with you. If you're anti this, like this morning, this was so disturbing. It really pissed me off. And I guess people are still doing this. And it just disturbed me. A person that I saw, they actually posted such a violent, horrible, horrid thing that this gentleman tried to take this fancy picture of a lion. I don't even know how long the picture was, but I think you already know where the story is going. I don't want to disturb you by telling you all what happened, but I couldn't believe it because sometimes you're watching somebody's videos, you don't know what's happening, and then you figure out what's happening, and you're like, oh no, it's happening. And I said, I could have normally, I would say, why would you post something like this so disturbing and it was so long and torturous? But instead, I said, you know what? Me and you don't match because I don't think you should post stuff like that. So instead of arguing with a person that I did not find as a spiritual match or a mental equal, because there's some people out here watching some really raggedy stuff, death type videos. And yeah, I was back in the day. I remember I used to watch street boxing, and then my friends, they would watch certain videos like those the faces of death type stuff. I was too scared to watch that stuff, but it could be anything like that dead people do. That it's like I don't identify with that. So instead of me asking this person, because I've done this before, I seen another young lady, she did that, and she was always, all her videos had stuff to do with death all the time. And I said, you know, it seems like you're depressed, but this is gonna make it worse, and it seems like, you know, maybe you're having a problem because, you know, that person, I knew it too. There's a fiance or spouse had died, and their focus just seemed to be straight on death all the time. And so these things, it doesn't have to be that they're focused on death, but they're focused on stuff that's dead to you. But this young lady, I reached out to her only to explain how you're actually magnifying it and spreading it, and you're actually holding that energy within yourself. And she straight went crazy and lost it. And I thought, you know, okay, fine. My feelings were hurt, but here it was telling her something that she wasn't ready to resonate with. Maybe she never will. But she was focused on death. She was dead. She was in the grave with that person that she had buried in that relationship a year or so. That person had been dead. You can go down the page and see it. And she was just focused on death. And I tried to have a basically a conversation with a zombie. And you could think about that this past 3 years since 2023. There's been so many smoke bombs going off and people just falling for it. And you just like, how you falling for that? How you getting sucked into that? But guess what? The more time we spent having these conversations with people, basically it's rubbernecking because that's the next thing. Because we're rubbernecking, we gotta sit and watch in awe of the chaos. We gotta stop and watch the pronoun stuff. We gotta watch the the surgeries that people are having. You know what I'm talking about. Certain things that they're doing to their body, they're mutilating their body, or whatever. And we gotta watch it. And we watch videos about it. And we talk about it. And we labor in it. And it's like you're sitting there rubbernecking and you slowing down traffic. I hate when there's an accident or something going on up ahead. Do you ever notice that when you get all the way up there, you like, this what everybody was looking at? But you know what? I just got to the point where now when I'm in traffic, if I do get to that point, I'm like, screw what's over there because I don't have anything to do with that and I can't fix it, change it, and I'm not a part of it. Let me just get up. And then you'll notice the whole road is clear. But everybody sits there rubbernecking and they slowing everybody else behind them. What are you supposed to be doing that you slowing down on because you're busy rubbernecking? Because you're sitting here focused on the wrong subject. You're looking in the wrong place. You're doing the wrong thing with the wrong people. And you're slowing down progress because somebody's waiting for you to show them something in your life or something to change, right? So rubbernecking, that comes with letting the dead bury the dead, because you don't have to watch the wreck. You don't have to watch the train wreck, and you don't have to argue with zombies. But one thing that you have to do is cut the necrosis out, right? So if you got dead tissue in your body, you got to cut it out. Why? Because it gets more smelly, more pussy, more dirty, and it spreads to the rest of your body. It becomes an internal infection. It can affect your organs, your eyesight. It will affect you on the inside. So you got to actually cut the dead part out. Right? So what could this be? Maybe it's people that you hang out with or places that you go. Maybe it's in any kind of drugs, medications, and alcohol that you know are slowing you down, but and maybe you want it but don't need it. Things that you're holding on to because you're this new person, but you're holding on to this dead thing that no longer resonates with you of all the things that you haven't done. I put a card on one girl one time. Well, it was a reading that was for me, and I was getting back pain and all this weird feelings and stuff. And I was like, why is it? Why do I feel like that every time I'm around this person? And a person did a card reading for me, and no doubt it came out to be a ghoul. And it said about the ghoul that it's a reminder of all the negative things that you don't like. And that's it. She was bringing up all these negative feelings and bad memories and jealousy. And it wasn't allowing me to change or grow because when I was around her, it just pulled me right back into that same space. And I didn't want to be in that space anymore. So I had to let the necrosis go. And, here it is. If you want to hang out at the bottom, like, I don't know if you know about shrimp and crabs. They're, they say that there's a different word. Scavengers is what they call them. They pick over the leftovers of the dead flesh. They literally eat dead flesh. They're bottom feeders. Is that the category you're trying to be in as a bottom feeder? Absolutely not. Don't clamor around on the bottom in these negative holes and these negative situations, waiting for just, one little morsel. You're not going to get any light from it. You're trying to be a light body. You need to be eating the first fruit fresh, right? Straight off the tree. I met an African doctor once, and he just discussed how his grandfather didn't eat fruit that was pulled off and left sitting because it was too dead for him. Instead, he would eat the fruit while it was still attached to the tree. So he was getting the first life of the fruit. I thought that was amazing. You need that. You need that. You need the first fruit. You need it straight from the tree. You need the living water. You need to be drinking the living water so that you can be the living water for others. So you need to be around people that are like you, that are giving you the fresh, living vitality that you need, while you are also giving out that vitality. A lot of times, what we get so caught up into is there's people always hanging on to you, so they're getting all this living water, and then what you're doing is drying up and getting empty, and no one is there to replenish you. You have to balance out your relationships. That, yeah, we can help people, but remember, they're taking. Who is giving? AC/DC current, right? The current has to flow. The circuit has to flow. So for you to stay vital, you have to be getting vitality if you're going to be giving vitality.